So Kotaku just published one of the most brain-dead articles I have ever read, which I managed to archive before they changed the title due to the backlash they were receiving, and I'll put a link to that archive in the description below. Apparently Halo Infinite players are now transphobes because of a glitch in the game having their nickname Quidditch. No, I'm not joking. Some dumbass over at Kotaku unironically tried to call Halo Infinite fans transphobic. Even for Kotaku, this is an insane new low, but I'm honestly not at all surprised simply due to the fact the site has had a major hate boner over Halo Infinite for months, saying that the opening is awful, which obviously isn't true. The only bad thing about it is how the first boss fight starts, but apart from that, it's got a very solid opening. Also saying that Halo Infinite's winter contingency event demands a big time commitment. Again, a blatantly false statement. How exactly is playing one match a day a big time commitment? I can guarantee you that 99% of the people who play Halo Infinite have enough free time to warrant at most 10 minutes, but usually 5 minutes for a single Halo match a day. That is not a big time commitment. A big time commitment would be better directed at MMOs like New World, not playing 5 minutes of a game a day. There are plenty, and I mean plenty of things to criticize Halo Infinite for, and now that I have over 100 hours in the game, they are becoming real pains in the ass. Not only the issues I discussed in my review for the multiplayer, like the terrible optimization on PC, but the ones I've recently been discovering, like 343's matchmaking system, being in utter shambles and completely broken. You'll regularly find yourself in lobbies with over 100 ping for no reason at all, and that is made even worse with the game's current netcode, which is, to put lightly, piss poor. And due to the awful netcode, melee is entirely inconsistent, plus ranked matchmaking even without the netcode issues is unbelievably moronic. It essentially forces you in between a 40 to 60% win rate via either putting you up against players who are nowhere near to your rank, in the sense they are lower ranks than you, or by placing you in teams with players that are well below your rank. I am Diamond 5, and in every match there is at least one low ranked platinum player on my team. Usually causes us to lose, since there is no way in hell they should be matched with us. But instead of talking about those things, Kotaku in their ironically infinite wisdom decided to make up some bullshit way to criticize Halo Infinite. In the art of fairness, I will be showing you the supposed reasoning behind the article's initial title that they ended up changing after deleting their tweet, which got the majority of the backlash. There's a difference between a joke I made about a shitty thing and genuine criticism that is rooted in emotional attachment. If you cannot distinguish the two, that's on your own reading comprehension skills. Ah yes, blame the reader for your sheer incompetency. Don't actually take accountability for making a rage bait headline, as well as attacking fans for absolutely no reason. Blame the readers, because as we all know, blaming your audience for your fuck-ups is always a brilliant way to get them on your side. No one thought you were making genuine criticisms of Halo Infinite. That's the whole reason everyone hates your article. It has no valid criticisms, and instead relies on rage bait bullshit, even though there are more than enough valid things to criticize Halo Infinite for. But instead of making genuine criticisms, you made a terrible article and injected politics into a subject where it doesn't belong. In no world was there any need to bring up transphobia in an article talking about a glitch in a video game that has no link to any form of transphobia. Pretty sure 343 aren't transphobic, and I'm pretty sure the sport of Quidditch isn't either. It's not on our comprehension skills that you failed to make a competent article. That's on your comprehension skills. What you ended up doing is the exact reason as to why nobody respects gaming journalists anymore. You didn't even try to legitimately critique a game, and didn't even attempt to talk about bugging a game in a remotely professional manner, which in fairness is to be expected from a dogshit site like Kotaku. If it was a joke, which I genuinely don't think it was, because everything in the article points to the complete opposite scenario, then it's on you as a writer to make that joke obvious that it's a joke, not on the reader to figure out that a shitty joke is a shitty joke. It is down to your wording that makes someone realize whether or not something is a joke, and you failed to do that. That is your fault, not the reader's. Instead of just blaming everyone else for your fuck up, just admit responsibility. Take accountability. It is not that hard. It may be embarrassing for your self-esteem for a few seconds, but once you do it, it is usually left in the dust. Blaming your audience for your fuck ups never ever ends well, and this frankly terrible article will be linked back to you for the rest of your career in the gaming industry. Players do not easily forget this type of bullshit. They do not like being called something they are not just for liking Harry Potter or just for liking Halo Infinite. People are getting seriously fed up with the media's constant rage baiting, and if you had just said, "Oh yeah, I made a bad article, sorry about that guys, this won't happen again, or something along those lines, the majority of people would forget this. Sure, you'd have the odd troll bringing it back up in the future, but now you've got basically everyone doing that, because you handled the situation incredibly poorly. I'm not hate baiting, I'm just unfunny. There's a difference. I mean, that would be believable if you didn't work for Kotaku, a site that is almost dedicated to nonsense political rage bait headlines. As I said a second ago, this is the exact wrong way to respond to criticism. Don't pull the "it's just a joke" card, because it almost definitely wasn't. You simply made a bad article. And didn't you just say that it was the fault of the reader for not understanding it's a joke? I don't know about you, but it seems like you're talking out of your ass here, especially when you take into consideration the most hilarious part about all of this, aka the fact the article still contains a segment where the writer calls the glitch transphobic, and anyone who likes the sport transphobic. How on earth liking Harry Potter / Halo Infinite makes you a transphobe is beyond any form of logic, let alone common sense. Also, if you know you're unfunny, then there's a simple solution. Don't try to be funny when you self-admittedly aren't. There are parts that show you were more than likely not joking, like this sentence where you call the Harry Potter series shitty wizard books, which in any other scenario I'd be inclined to agree with you, to be honest, but we all know the reason as to why you hate the books, so in this case I certainly won't be agreeing with you. JK Rowling may be transphobic, but that doesn't mean anyone who likes her books are transphobic, and it sure as hell doesn't mean Halo Infinite fans are transphobic for nicknaming their glitch Quidditch. You straight up called Halo Infinite fans and Harry Potter fans transphobes, and then got shocked that people didn't take kindly to it? The fuck were you expecting to happen? Nowhere in this article is there any sense of it being a joke. It just reads like rage bait, which is something Kotaku is more than well known for. In fact, they are notorious for rage baiting. It's kinda their thing. So when you try and claim that you are simply making a joke, it doesn't really line up with your line of work. It simply comes across as a load of BS to try and get yourself out of a sticky situation. And it certainly doesn't help your case that you flip-flopped, saying that it was a reader's fault for having a lack of comprehension skills, and then the next tweet saying that it was just a shitty joke and that you aren't good at making jokes, which I can agree with, not gonna lie, even though you clearly weren't joking and are only saying that you were joking because of the backlash you received. There are quite literally no signs of a joke being made in that article. It is literally just a bunch of rage bait at the start, and then you actually talk about the bug. No jokes were made. You just straight up called people transphobes for no reason, and instead of owning that, you've tried to bullshit your way out of it, which very clearly hasn't worked, for very obvious reasons. Although I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved to know the thought process you had whilst writing that awful article. Like, how the fuck do you come to conclusion that Halo Infinite fans and Harry Potter fans are transphobes over a fucking oddball glitch? Now I've said everything I want to say about this god awful article and the writer's response to criticism, which means we have finally reached the end of my video. So with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord server, follow me on Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe, so that I will see you all in the next video.